job,
winning.
if you will. We weren't winning. We weren't. Yeah, I mean, if we were, that game should have been what? What was the score? 17-14 at half. It should have been.
Right.
It should have been 14-3, and then it looks a little different. You know what I mean? But they absolutely dominated that second half. It was insane. The pick six, and I'm trying to remember exactly how it went down. I had a couple. So the first one was an interception, then we got a touchdown, right?
Yep.
And
Next play.
The next play.
The first play off of the interception, I think they scored a touchdown.
Okay.
And then the very next play for Rutgers, they threw the pick six. And then the next drive was the next interception.
Okay, was it that? I was trying to remember, and
It was pretty quick.
the app I use has a hard time dividing things up the way that for college at least. So I was trying to replay it in my mind of how it went. But yeah, it was crazy how quickly it all turned, and it was comforting, I guess. It definitely changed our mindset. But the first half, are those starting to become a? Are you worried about it?
I don't like the pattern of, okay, so I shouldn't say I don't like it, but I do like scoring first, which seems to be the narrative right now. You know, our first drive, we go down,
Play
score,
well. Yeah.
and then we, for the next quarter and a half, kind of fall flat on our face and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half, everything changes. So we get that initial first drive score and then do nothing. I don't like that. I want to see a score, and then then if the next drive stalls out, I want to see the following drive, that third drive, score, end up in either 3 or 7 points. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see
up.
consistency.
Yeah.
Consistently put points up in that first half. It's just as important as the second half when we go down this next stretch here.
What are your thoughts on that, Ryan?
I don't know, because we know how this team likes to win, and that's through dominating the offensive and defensive line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So if I guess I haven't I don't know. I would like to dive more into the reasons, or look back at the drives that are stalling out and seeing the reasons behind that. And if it's more based on play calling, or if they're just getting beat on a man-to-man basis. But my assumption is that they're trying to – so the first drive is going to be a scripted set of play calls.
Yep.
And then I'm assuming that we get into some sort of predictable rhythm on the second and third drives. And if that's the case, then it's not really about the players or the execution. Then it would be more about the defense committing. And my assumption would then go to they're committing to the run hardcore, like putting 8 in the box. And then when we get more of a balanced offense, then our run game starts to dominate here and there, because they have big plays. That's what Corum does. It's what
Edwards does.
It's what Edwards does too. Yeah, they're both great. But I wonder if it's like Michigan committing and saying we're setting the tone, we're going to win the trenches, even if we get to a third and a fourth down scenario on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the way the reason they win in the end, and they just dominate those teams. In the second half, they just can't keep up anymore because they're just physically dominated at that point. Because I also don't want to get cute. Or I don't know if they're throwing the ball too much and they're committing to try to get those big plays down the field.
Yeah.
The second, third drives, and they're getting away from what they're good at. I don't know.
I think that's what happened in the first half, personally. I'm starting to look. I'm okay with winning the way we are. I don't need to see us throw the ball 40 times and put up. I don't compare us to Ohio State in that way. We don't need to do it the way Ohio State's doing it, or the way people think Ohio State's doing it. That doesn't matter to me. But what I saw for the first time this year, at least in what I think I saw in that first half, was Michigan trying to do it even though it wasn't there. They were trying to force it to show something that they can. Like, I feel like they were throwing the ball way more in the first half. And I think I thought the wide receivers were completely letting down this team in a whole lot of ways in that first half.
Yeah, they did.
Tons of drop passes, tons of just weird scenarios that just that's what I saw, and I want to see it just as bad as every other fan. Trust me, because we want to know if we can do it against Ohio State. We want to know if we can compete with them. We want to. I keep doing this. I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting what I'm hearing. All of those things. I think we want to be respected a little bit more. We want our offense to be respected a little bit more, right?
It's a good way of putting it.
And we don't need to be. We did it last year the way we wanted to. And I know everybody all of a sudden just loses all of the faith in the world because of what happened in that Georgia game. Any type of offense was going to lose to Georgia that day. I'm sorry. It was just
Absolutely.
the way it was going to work. And I think that's one thing we're trying to play in our heads. It's like, well, yeah, we can beat Ohio State, but everybody on the other side is saying, well, look what you did against Georgia. Well, what good did that really do, beating Ohio State? That is still our goal, is to beat Ohio State and win a Big Ten. I don't care what happens after that. I don't care who we face. I don't care if Joel Klatt and other, or what's the Limbaum or Feinbaum or whatever his name is. Like, I don't care what those people think. As much as I do care, I don't need to care if they think Michigan can compete with those top level teams.
Well,
that shouldn't matter to me.
What I see JJ went through this last game, he threw under 50% completion percentage, and some of that was drop passes, but 13 for 27 for the game. I don't see that as a concern because it hasn't been a concern all year. He's been the most accurate passer in the nation leading into this game, and then he goes and has a bad game. Okay, well, yeah, but you also had drop passes. You also had weather scenarios and other stuff, like it's getting colder. It just is. And so that is not a concern with me. So really it comes back to, do I have a concern because we know the team has an identity? We know we have more than one identity. We could do this with Donovan Edwards or Blake Corum running the ball, or both at the same time, anytime we want. And really, I think the team in general, with the offensive line the way it is, I think they could do it with their third string dude as well. Maybe not against Ohio State. We need our stars to be stars. But this team has something that's reliable game in, game out. And actually, Joel Klatt had a good way of putting this, just saying, Michigan fans are not looking for the weather app and crashingweather.com to see what kind of weather they're going to have for Michigan and Ohio State. But Ohio State fans are right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they need to make sure that weather looks pretty good because they're playing outside in Ohio in end of November. So they're the ones that are worried about that. Michigan's not. Why? Because Michigan has the identity on the ground. The same way we beat them last year could be the same way we beat them this year. And I think it's okay to have some, find out what works and find out what doesn't with your team. And I think some of that's going on early in these games where the offensive coordinator is deciding what plays he's going to be adding to the lineup against a critical opponent. Mm-hmm. And then we're also finding out who are the players and who are not. Mm-hmm. So I saw Blake Corum get some rest in this game, which was great to see. Donovan Edwards take over a little bit. Great to see. We got third stringers in there.
It is Rutgers, but it's nice to see that.
Blake Corum was getting rest before we had the game in hand.
Yeah.
So and that's been different. Maybe it's because Donovan Edwards was injured earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about that so much, I guess, going back to what you originally asked.
So, you said identity multiple times, and I love that word because I said this last week. What Michigan is doing, Michigan's identity, is what every single football coach wants. Every single college, high school, pro. Teams that win in the trenches on both sides of the ball can run the ball, can stop the run. That's what teams want. That's what coaches want. And then we sit here, and for some reason, we are told time and time again, because we sit and watch Georgia put up tons of points. We see Clemson, when they're good, it's their offense. We see Ohio State's wide receivers and quarterback. That's the identity that we're supposed to want. And then we sit here and feel so insignificant because our identity doesn't currently fit what everybody says is the right identity right now. You know what I mean? And it's funny that we're talking about that with identity in this world these days. But we should be completely okay with our identity, but for some reason I'm not. And I want to see JJ put up these numbers. I want to see our wide receivers do it. I'm not worried about JJ. I'm more worried about our wide receivers. And I said that very, very early on in the year is I need that wide receiver to emerge. It's to be the guy that JJ trusts when we need that big play. I don't know who that guy is at wide receiver. I think it's Ronnie Bell, but Ronnie Bell is the one that's dropping more balls than anybody right now, in my opinion. So it's I don't know. And I want to know. It would make me sleep better. I guarantee that.
Hawaiian.
If this team can get their wideouts going,
Look out.
look out.
Yeah.
Like, this is national title contender, no doubt.
It's so funny because if Ohio State was doing this, the way Michigan is, people would be drooling over it.
Yeah.
When Alabama was doing it this exact way, people loved Alabama. They were unstoppable. But for some reason, the way Michigan's doing it isn't the right way.
Well, or it's not sexy, right? Because I think say Ohio State without their running backs like Travion Henderson, without them, they are forced to throw the ball because that's all they have, right? They put a lot of emphasis on the wideouts and their quarterback, and that's how they score their points quickly and just pound, right? Not ground and pound. Don't get confused with that.
Yeah.
But that's how they just continue to gut punch you time after time after time, and it's hard to stop when your secondary sucks.
I think it's funny because I think we sit here and we're like, we have a good passing game. We're convinced that we do. It just hasn't been proven yet. We have a great running game. And I'm sure Ohio State, I look at Ohio State and I'm like, you guys can run the ball way better than you do. So it's like, I'm sure they're looking at us and being like, they can throw the ball way better than they do. What is going on? And it's like, we're just like in this battle of, well, we're just going to throw the ball and then we're going to save that running game till the matchup, till the game. That's what Ohio State's doing, and then we're doing the same thing. We're just going to run the ball. We can actually throw the ball really good. We're just waiting to show it against you guys. And I feel like that's what we're facing here. Is like
it really
it's going to
feels
be
like it.
just like a collision.
Massive collision course.
Gosh, I'm just so excited. And then, all right,
2-3.
We got Nebraska. We got Illinois before that.
Yep.
So I don't want to look past those necessarily. Obviously, Nebraska should be an easy win.
You got work to
Illinois
do.
based, but
Who does Ohio State play leading into it?
Keno Hills.
Oh, they're going to win.
I honestly don't know. I haven't looked.
I get it.
I feel like they had one. No, they don't have a tough game. I think they're.
Oh, you're already there.
He's got it. Who do they got?
All right, here we go.
Well.
All right. They're playing Indiana, home against Indiana, and at Maryland.
Maryland could be an interesting one.
Maryland just lost pretty
I know,
sad
but
game.
I think they have the ability to it. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know. I just can't wait for this, and I'm more concerned about the wide receivers and just more chaos is kind of where I'm at.
How did we end up on JJ's concern?
I'm still not concerned about him.
'Cause I'm not.
really not. I think
Yeah.
the way he's running the ball is it's starting to. He didn't do it against Rutgers, which is fine. I think he did take a really big hit he actually got hit several times.
Yeah, that was
Dude,
the
protect
one was
yourself a
dumb.
little bit.
Yeah.
I like the way he's running the ball heading into at least last week, and I still think that dude is one of the most accurate quarterbacks. At least, especially when you're looking at that 15 to 20, 20 yard, he makes it look really easy there.
When he is rolling out.
Yeah, he moves. He's a lot like Mahomes in that way, where he's moving. He's almost better when he's moving his feet one direction and running a guy
100%.
open, if you will.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about JJ, but what I'm concerned about is his connection with some of these wide receivers. That's where I'm at.
I'm drawing a blank on the Hawaiian wide receiver. What's his name?
Roman Wilson.
Yeah, is he? What's the status on Roman Wilson? Because I think he's one of the key wide receivers. We need him in this lineup just to provide that.
He's
speed.
the guy that stretches the field.
He did go through an injury, I think, mid-season.
He's been injured really all year, in and out. He was in the protocol, I think, with the concussion earlier in the year.
Is that what it was? I mean, you think he's the key? I thought the key was going to be Ronnie Bell getting back into form.
Well,
And
I
it
think
hasn't
Ronnie
happened
Bell's solid, and I know that he's had some drops and stuff, but I think he's going to show up in the big game.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Bell also has had, did you see his catch out of bounds again?
Yeah, just
on his
barely out of
fingertips?
yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, what a catch! I mean, it's insane. That dude is a gamer. He's going to make plays.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him when we need him most. I think we do need another element to the wide receiver crew because Cornelius Johnson doesn't stretch the field. He's there he's always underneath. He can catch touchdowns. Like that's what he's in there for too. But he's not getting the big play way down the field. He doesn't beat cornerbacks one-on-one on a regular basis. He doesn't have the quick twitch, and I think that's something that Roman Wilson, he can just run away from people.
Roman Wilson and Ryan Hayes are expected to be back next week.
Sounds good. I like that.
Love that.
Drinking craft beer, having fun, and talking sports in the state of Michigan. You're listening to State of My Sports.
Real quick, I did want to. I think we're in college football playoff season, right? I mean, the rankings come out. I don't want to spend
Most
a whole lot
definitely.
of time on this, but they did come out. Do you have that available? I think I have it here. I think everything was the same in the AP, right? So Georgia's number 1, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3, TCU number 4, Tennessee dropped to 5, right?
Yep.
You got Oregon, LSU, and USC to round up the top 6 through 8 there. Then Alabama 9, Clemson 10, which is the difference there between the AP.
Right.
Look, this was the chaos week. I feel like last week was with you knew that you're going to obviously have a top 3 team go down with Georgia or Tennessee. But then when Clemson does what they did, Alabama lost as well. That kind of starts the chaos ball rolling here. Where you're sitting at 4 undefeated teams now. That's where we're at.
Right.
And obviously you're going to have 2 of them play each other with Ohio State and Michigan. So you're down to 3 undefeated teams. And it's going to be really interesting to see the way it pans out. I don't think we need to worry too much about where we're ranked at this point. I think last week kind of told us a little bit more, like when you're looking at Michigan, for example, obviously we're Michigan fans here, what the committee thought of their early on season. And they didn't test themselves enough, or all that kind of stuff that people, strength of schedule. I think that showed us that they're going to take that into consideration. Now, I don't know why they don't do that for Ohio State, but they do it for Michigan. But whatever, it is what it is. It's going to be a fun little sprint to the finish here. You're going to have 2 versus 3, no matter what, I think, unless obviously Ohio State or Michigan drop a game against each other in the game. Could be even 1 and 2 if Georgia somehow loses. We'll see. I doubt they will because they probably have Northern Georgia, Southern California Tech or something like that.
Yeah,
a
for
couple
sure.
times. So, but the one to watch this week, and this is kind of where I wanted to put this conversation, is that TCU Texas game. I think Texas is the better team. We're going to get into that with our picks, but if TCU loses, that's where things are going to get even crazier because TCU is the one that's going to play spoiler. They're the one that's going to either leave out a Big Ten team or leave out an SEC team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get 2 SEC teams or 2 Big Ten teams, and then TCU at this point. But if that doesn't happen, we could start be looking at a Pac-12 team sneak in like Oregon.
Oregon could.
Or you could get 2 Big Ten and 2
USC.
SEC teams, which are interesting. So
Don't forget, Georgia's going to be playing probably LSU, right?
Or
in the
Alabama.
championship game.
yeah, or Alabama.
Alabama's got 2 losses. They're not going to do it. It's either going to be Ole Miss or LSU, most likely.
Well,
In the SEC championship.
LSU has 2 losses though. Or
LSU
they only
has
have one
conference
SEC
loss.
Okay. But then Ole Miss and Alabama play this week too. Which is gonna be.
Yeah, you're right.
I just feel like they're gonna use that as like a way to get Alabama back in the conversation.
I don't see how it's
Because,
possible, but you're right. They could.
Yeah, they're gonna be,
I
they
wouldn't
just
put it past
beat
them.
Ole Miss. They just beat Ole Miss by 50. Oh my goodness, they're so
we
good.
feel bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just something that I wanted to bring up. But we're going to get into our picks of the week. Bettinghero.com. Jump in on their website. Sign up. Say you live in the state of Michigan if you want to bet on sports. Promo code MIBETS.
They're good.
Just move on forward, right? We got our picks here. I gotta play some music.
So I thought I was winning.
You were wrong.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
not listen to the podcast? No, don't answer that question.
I've been sending you my picks every week.
We
and
have.
Man, I am killing it. I must be doing so well.
Mike is leading the way at 43 and 30 overall after a 3-5 week. Ryan, you are 38 and 35 with a 3-5 week. You are tied with me now. I went 4-4. John 4-4 to 40 and 33 overall, and Kyle 6-2 getting back in the picture. Still under 500, 36 and 37. John did send me his picks, but I'll have to write those down after the fact. I don't want to be doing that. First week, Micah, your first game. I did not do Thursday game because it's dog crap. Nobody cares about that.
Who was it?
I think it's like Falcons and Carolina or something like that.
Oh, come on. Great matchup.
Yeah, it is just like, I don't.
Awesome.
I might not even watch that. I probably won't. I'll bet on it, but I didn't want to make us have to pick it.
I'm going to bet on it, he says.
I'm not watching it.
I'll bet on it. But, so I did pull Vikings at the Bills. I thought that was a pretty good matchup, right? You got Bills minus 7.5 coming off the loss. Vikings coming off the last second win against the Commanders. Yeah, they're the Commanders. Sorry.
Correct.
I was gonna be like, aren't they called the football team now? But that was last year. But all right. Kyle's taking the Bills. John is taking the Vikings. Micah, what are you doing?
Bills. Josh
Ryan.
Allen is going to have a bounce-back game.
Ryan.
I'm taking the Bills.
Too many points. I'm taking the Vikings. Also, question marks on his elbow.
Oh, that's
Josh
true.
Allen might be out. We'll see.
UCL injury.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which
Can I change or no?
Nope, sorry. It's already in ink. No, you can change if you want. You want to change?
No, Bills.
All right. It's probably the right pick. He's going to play. He's probably going to have a great game.
Yeah, he's going to throw
Just-
left-handed.
Yeah.
Be the best.
Moving on to Sunday Night Football, you got the Chargers at the 49ers. 49ers a 7-point favorite.
Ooh.
Kyle's taking the Chargers. John is taking the Chargers. Whew. What are you doing, Micah?
Give me the Chargers.
Ryan?
49ers.
Really?
Hello.
Well, yeah? You
Yep.
should say yes.
Yep.
I'm going to go with... This just seems like too many points. But I'm going to take the 49ers. Why not? I can get any game on Micah and stay close to Ryan. That's kind
Yeah.
of the goal here, right?
Yeah.
Even though John's still in it, I want to give John his credit. He's actually in second, right? So, moving on. Lions at the
Kyle
Bears.
sucks, though.
Lions are a 3-point underdog, so the Bears -3. Kyle's taking the Lions. John is taking the Bears. What a jerk. Birthday boy. It's his birthday today.
Oh. Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Micah,
birthday,
what are you doing?
Sneeze.
Taking the Lions or the Bears?
I'm going to take the Bears. Justin Fields is playing better. Home field advantage, and that's about all I got. Give me
Ryan?
the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions as well.
If the Lions win this game
You're on board.
and the Packers lose, Lions are going to be second in the NFC North.
No, they'd still be behind the Bears, wouldn't they?
No.
Oh, they'd be second and in playoff contention.
No.
Yeah, I think they would.
I don't think so.
They're
think-
only
I
two
think-
games back.
Yeah, they're only 2 games back.
Oh, there you go.
Lions, baby, let's go. We're back in this. I'm on board. I'm about ready to start drinking that Kool-Aid again.
Dan
I
Campbell,
think
baby.
you already did.
Oh, if they win this game, look out. I might
they
show
win
up
this
without
game.
pants next week. Which would be normal. Why do I keep doing that button?
Pick is in. No pants.
Oh, moving on to college. We got Texas and TCU going at it. TCU at Texas. Texas a 7-point favorite.
That's surprising.
It's a lot of points. Is it surprising?
I don't know.
All right. Kyle is taking Texas. John is taking TCU. Mike, what are you doing?
TCU.
Ryan.
Yeah, TCU.
Really? I'm taking Texas. I like what they're doing.
Picking against Jesus.
I do too. I like them too, but TCU's not going to go down without a fight right
At
now.
Texas?
They've got a lot to lose.
It's a night game.
TCU's got a lot to lose.
I agree with that.
They're going to fight.
And they're going to lose it. Texas is the better team,
Not by 8.
I believe. Moving on to Alabama at Ole Miss. Ole Miss 12-point home underdog. Kyle's taking Alabama. John is taking Ole Miss. Micah, what are you doing?
Bama.
Ryan.
I want to say Bama, but I'm going to go Ole Miss just to make up a game on Micah.
I'm going to go Bama. I think they're going to beat them by like 30.
Yeah, 40.
And then just like use that as an argument to get in like he
Dude.
always does.
Saban is going
I
to
hate
use
Saban so much.
Kiffin as his whipping boy.
Yeah, probably. Next, you got Rutgers at MSU. MSU a favorite, 10-point favorite. Hey, first time they're a favorite, and who knows how long. Probably last. We'll see. Kyle's taking MSU. John is taking MSU. Micah, what are you going to do on this one?
Nope, Rutgers by a billion.
Rutgers to
I
win?
hate you. I hate MSU.
You got Rutgers to win? And the points? Ryan?
Look at that. I'm taking MSU.
I'm going to take Rutgers. Too many points. I don't think MSU can beat anybody by more than 10 points.
So I'm saying Rutgers is going to cover. Come on now.
All right. We all got Rutgers. Or no, Mike and I got Rutgers.
We all got Rutgers.
You guys got MSU. Moving on to our last game of the week is Nebraska at Michigan. Minus 28
What?
points. Kyle's got Michigan big. John's got Michigan. I'm going to go Michigan. I'm just going to give you my pick now. I know it's probably wrong. That just seems like way too many points.
Yeah.
But I just think they're going to do it. I think they're going to kill them. I really do. What are you guys doing?
Michigan. Easy.
Yeah,
Ryan?
Michigan. They could win 35-3 and they'll cover. They don't need to score a bunch of points. Nebraska's just not going to score.
Wait, is Scott Frost still the head coach?
No, not since 17 weeks ago.
God darn it. No, I'm just kidding.
It means they're better.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
That was our bumper for this.
So angry.
This was our bumper. Moving on to our beer grades.
Long bumper.
We're obviously here at DeHop's Brewing Company. I'm drinking strawberry straw cucumber sour, which is 5.3% alcohol. It was a good beer. It's got the sour taste, obviously. I mean, I've graded it before. Like, do we even need to do this right now? I'm
Nope.
going to give it a 7.9 and a half. I don't know. Like, it just
I'll do a 7.912. Pretty good.
this is kind of where we're at. Oh, jeez. Trying to hit that same bug that we've been seeing this whole
I
time.
feel like I'm in a tunnel somewhere.
Micah, what was your grade and what were you drinking?
Drinking the Thirsty Miner. I'm going to give it the same grade as last time.
You remember?
Which is, nope.
8-1.
I'm going to go with 8-2, actually.
Love it, love it. Well, that was episode 180.
Snap.
Thank you guys for recording. Ryan, great to have you back, man.
Glad to be back. My phone's been blowing up.
I
You
saw
have no
that.
idea.
Yeah, I know. But appreciate you being here. Mike, I love having you on, obviously.
I feel like that was a slight.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next week, if not sooner.
From the Red Wings to the Lions,
I did
to
not
the
mean it
Tigers,
that way.
to the Pistons, to Michigan and Michigan State, and everything in between, we're talking about it. And don't forget the beer. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. In the meantime, hook up with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at State of My Sports with an MI. We'll see you next time.